Alright, so you have my great grandfather, right? He was one of the 9 Marine Raiders after being a police officer in Rochester, Minneapolis. It was somewhere in Minnesota. Anyways, has 3 kids, and I think Peggy was after, but this is why it's really weird because he joins the Marines. He's one of the 9 guys that are in the Marine Raiders in World War II. It's like the most infamous U.S. group. So he pretty much just blew up tanks all day. It's pretty much his main objective. But anyways, comes back and then starts to haul anhydrous and moves to Iowa. And then one of his daughters, Sue, goes and she marries Jesus Gonzalez from Mexico. Later on, they get a divorce, and she ends up dying of brain cancer. Is how it's always so, or spinal fluid leaking out onto the brain. But see, I have different recordings of it too because I just found it weird. So Judy and Nikki will both give me like 4 different answers. I don't want to bring it up to them because it's just totally not okay. But one, she's air flighted to California. One, she's air flighted to Montana. And see, this may have been a 1 or 2 time bullshit interception thing from somebody in the U.S. or a foreign nation just to fuck with me and or try to get me to make everything about ending crystallized methamphetamine and just taking over that cartel syndicate anyways. Because I married this one chick named Megan Lee Barrett who grew up in 3 different meth labs that all had to catch fire and then almost died in the one on wheels, and they just had a bunch of awesomeness, and then there was it was like 2 things and they were all split. It's like, yeah, we're everywhere and we're nowhere, and yeah, that's right, that was meth or money. Your point? Yeah, we're running the federal government. Lick my balls. And anywho, it's really like the way it's so. One time is South Dakota, one time is Montana, one time is California, and then another time is in Mason. And then I had sworn that I always heard most of my life, like the 2 or 3 times I heard it, their other sister Peggy, I thought she lived to be 16. Like, I guess it was in infancy. Like she died, I guess, right away. And it was also of brain cancer. But maybe I would say the first story it was in front of the surf ballroom in a car crash. At 16 is, I swear to God, the first way I heard that, but maybe I just don't remember something right. And then, yeah, those. Do you know, 2 different times when I was younger, once at I don't know, what was that, but just, I think you were like 8 maybe the first time. Coming out my boxers to go pee, and the kitchen's sort of foggy, and then there's a dude, I think in a matte or just darker skin, at least it looks like to me, comes up from the basement, and then I just finish going pee and go back to my room. Actually, I don't think I pee that time. I think I just turn around, I go back to the room, and I go to bed. And then later on, I got this horned mountain lizard named Stewie. And I'm sleeping by the cage out in this hallway, and I wake up at some point, I really need to go pee, and suddenly it's really foggy, and there's not 1, but 3 guys. And I'm just like, gonna go pee quick. And I kinda remember, I'm pretty sure I had to clean up, I was just drunk, I'm just huge hard on, gonna need a different angle here to go. And part of me for a while kind of remember, I thought I passed out and then wake back up there. But no, I'm pretty sure I just kind of forgot there were things, sort of, and then walked and fell asleep. However, later on, so the island that was in my kitchen at the point in time. Now, at my grandmother's house now, her island, before not twice now, just to yeah, that was definitely a thing, Jason, just so you know, hasn't not switched from the one she does have back to that other smaller one. It should be out in the. Now, the other really fucked up part here. See, this is. Please don't do these things without talking to me. Just the fact the island is switched, and she doesn't notice the fact that the stories have switched. There's one more thing. I was trying to write. But, sorry. I was talking aloud a lot. I had married this girl. Yeah, the whole method. My family, typically in a world of drugs and government and stuff, probably would have been murdered 3 times over from the stuff while we were driving around, and it was like, oh, now I get it. Technically speaking, we might have that in the trunk, and oh shit, okay, I get it. And anyways, I woke up at like 3 in the morning. Well, not woke up, but just there I am in my grandmother's kitchen, and there's a dude behind me, dude at the table, dude at the sink, and she's canning something. Her eyes are completely closed, and she just like comes out and then puts it in the cupboard and then goes back to the stove, and then the guy there kind of shows me out the door, and then I end up oh yeah, just when things like that are happening. The other thing, the story, I went over to grandma's just asked her to tell me a story, or I guess her story, because I wanted to write something and I wasn't feeling inspired to write anything. I felt like I needed to write, because we did this whole crazy ass hospital MK Ultra trip for love with me. It just wasn't going well. It just wasn't going on. Anyways, she jumps back and forth like when I'm in Linda's room at Prairie Ridge, and it was I love the art of storytelling. I need to do it more smoothly. I'm just gonna talk through and do it, but the thing here is the guy's like, yeah, so I go to this gym. It's the one here in town. I get this new protein shake. And anyways, we just like usual pulled up in the back here, and came. They had the stuff ready, and we had the vans ready to go. And anyways, I'm there like once. What's it? Well, nah, it's once a week usually, I guess. Sometimes a couple times a week. And anyways, I usually start out by doing like 20 or 30 on the. And so the whole moral of the story, we got everything loaded up, and then we just went on. I think that was actually informing me of a day that, right, it was another play on the system for me in particular. I almost think are kept down in the dark, where it's like a two-way system going at once, and that's why I know that I, Jason Sean Cook, am the CIA's brainchild. So the Osiris AI doesn't not come down to me. Shit. There's two things that. Whew. And the story she tells me is after they moved to Iowa, and they were in Rockwell for a little while there before they went to Clear Lake, and so she would go to school every other day in place of Sue or Judy, because it's like she wasn't actually going. But then it was kind of told like there was 4, I swear, but I almost don't. The whole fact of the matter was she was just pointing out that she never actually really knew what was going on. It's like she was going on the wrong day, right? So, like it just everything was completely backwards. Like it just wasn't compatible to even pick up on anything they were trying to teach, because the way it was just read too. But anyway, the other story is she on the days off would hang out with her dogs, right? And they just hang around and do whatever. And she liked to go into the creek a lot, and they would end up in the basement at my house. That's where the collection of water there would be checked, and they would add what needed to be added and take out what needed to be taken out. And then there's a brick canal, and you follow the stream, so her dog would follow the stream. And the stream goes to where Judy used to live. My dad lives there. And what needed to be added and taken out. And from there we go to her house. Those two stories, like conjunction back and forth. So we're doing things like that, giving other information, totally taking off. Because like I don't think like honest to God, the things that you can be and not even know. But the ones in the foreground, the back. You really shouldn't have a no communication policy face to face. I don't understand why no monster in the dark of this world, except for what I guess I wouldn't label you a monster there, Vladimir Putin, but otherwise won't ever face me face to face.